Hello, everyone. My name is Richard, and I'm the services expert here at Odoo. In today's talk, we'll be discussing one of Odoo's apps, which is used to increase communication and efficiency across all your teams. Over the last few years, especially during the pandemic and the advent of work from home, a bunch of new communication tools either sprang up or became more prominent, such as Gmail, Google Chat, Discord, WhatsApp, Slack, and even Facebook Messenger. All of these were designed to help improve your efficiency and improve communication between you and your team when you needed to, especially when you couldn't simply walk down the hall to talk to your colleague or manager to get assistance. And with so many different applications, it might be hard to decide which one's the right one for you. So, what's the answer? Well, clearly it's going to be Odoo Discuss. And today we'll be going over all the different functionalities that will help you with all the requirements you have, especially when you want to become efficient. So let's dive right into Odoo, the demo time. As you know, this is the main dashboard of Odoo, and Discuss, like every other app, has an icon you can easily access. It's a free module you can add anytime you need to. And in fact, it's automatically installed when you start a new database. Now, diving into here, what we see are the left and right-hand side of the screen. The right will just be the main messages that are occurring, and the left will be the messages that you want to look into. So let's start with the channels. A channel will be a place that you can go to and interact with other people from your team or external to the company. More on that later. Here we see an entire history that will always be accessible to us anytime we come here. We can set an emoji if we want with a new Emoji Selector that became available as of V16. And we can even have a preview of any images or links that are submitted by a colleague of ours. And in fact, this one's so important to me, I'm going to star it. Then we have messages on the left. These are private messages or individual groups that we may have create on our own whenever we fit to. Now, when I start this, you may notice that a one icon appeared here. This is because I saved it for later, and so I can always come here whenever necessary and access every message I have starred. Now, there's also the inbox. How does something get here? That's pretty straightforward. So if I go to my user profile, you'll see a notification setting here, handle by email or handle in Odoo. Handle in email will mean that anytime something would have emailed me normally, well, instead, it will show up here in the inbox. This is really great to declutter your actual inbox for things that you may need to keep track of, especially if it is your to-do list. Now, I can always start a meeting if I want to, which will then allow me to invite people should I need to. But in this instance, we're not going to worry about that. So let's actually exit this out. Let's paint a picture of a more real-life scenario. In this story, I'm going to be a first-year worker, a graphic designer, working on a logo for a client of ours. So we're going to utilize Project for this, and a logo design one at that. Now, here are all the different tasks I'm assigned to and that I need to work on. And in this case, we have Odoo, who is going to help us or need our help in order to design a logo for them. Now, looking at the information here, I see their general information. Okay, that's what their business is. They're looking for a logo that is simple, sleek, and elegant. Now, there's some information that I'm missing: color gradient, font, and size. And since I'm quite new to this, I am not really sure what they're looking for here. So I'm going to enlist the help of my colleague, my manager, Laureline. Now, if I want to reach out to her, I don't need to go to Discuss. I can simply click on the icon here to see a list of all the conversations that I'm a part of, all channels, individual private chats, or even a new channel here. Now, let's reach out to Laureline, my manager. Hello, boss. How are you today? I have some questions. May you please help if you have a moment? Now, I can easily, as you saw before, just add an emoji, and she'll see it right there and then. So she's doing well. She's ready to meet with me. Let's start a call. So let's do a video call here. And I'm going to make it larger so we can see each other better. Hello, Laureline, how are you?
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
I'm fine, and you? How was your holiday?
My holiday was very good. I'm actually really happy to be back now.
Ah, did you see the new Odoo project that I assigned to you?
Yes, I'm actually working on it now. I had some questions for you, but one second. Let me change some settings in my video real quick. So if I click on the video icon here, the gear, I can essentially choose my input device if I needed to. I can enable push to talk in case there might be some background noise. I can, of course, change the threshold in which it does so. I can also show only the people who are participants or not, and a new feature which allows me to blur my background and change the intensity of the edge. Now, my background is quite nice, nothing private or personal, so I'm going to leave that alone. All right, sorry about that. Everything looks good on my end.
Perfect.
So I do have questions. Let me share my screen so that way we can review together.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so I'll select the screen icon, select the screen I want to share, and whoop, we have a forever screen. So let me go pick the one in particular. Do you see my screen okay?
Perfect.
Perfect. So here is the Odoo task I'm working on, and let's take a look at the questions I had. I wasn't sure about the color gradient or the font or the size. Did you have any information with your conversations with the client?
Yes, I had your client last week on the phone. Let me just check my mail. Yes, perfect. I have the color gradient. I just copy paste in the task. Can you see it?
Okay, yes, I do. So pound 162544 to pound 00415D. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Ah, great. So it's so cool how we can both interact with the task at the same time. And how about the font?
Let me think. I think it was Inter or Proxima Nova.
Is that correct?
Yes.
I have not really used these before. Are they newer fonts? I don't know.
Sure.
Let me. Did they say which one was more important, the Proxima Nova or Inter?
Can't remember.
Let me highlight the one
Proxima
that's.
Nova is better, but I'm not sure.
I'm going to highlight the cooler sounding one. I think that might be like that better. Okay, great. And as for size, did they say anything?
Oh, I totally forgot. I think I forgot to ask, so maybe it's more interesting if we add directly to the client.
I mean, I've never spoken to a client before. I mean, am I ready for that?
We see it's Matthew. It's very nice. It's from Odoo.
Ah, okay. Directly. CEO?
Here you can go in the channel to speak with him directly.
Okay, sure. Let me. I'll create the channel for us, and I'll see you right there.
Okay, see you there.
Okay, one moment. Bye. So what ended up happening there was that when I messaged Laureline, a message popped up just like this for her on her end, no matter where she was in Odoo. Okay, now let's go to discuss to start this channel again. So going to discuss, I can easily create a new channel with the plus sign. We'll call this Odoo project. And create Odoo project, voila. Now, I want to make sure that everybody can access this project. So if I click on the gear icon, we can actually edit some changes here. Now, for example, we have authorized group. This is designed for internal users here. But if I want to invite external, I can just remove that and leave it blank. I can even invite members directly here. So let's make sure Laureline is invited, and voila. Now, if I want to see any other channels that are in existence, I can go here, gear icon, and see all the ones that are created for internal use and just join when I'm ready. So let's come here. Let's add also our colleague or our friend from Odoo. We'll copy this link, and then we will send it out so he can join. And as a note, Matthew is not actually a user in the database. He is external. And so he'll be a guest as far as the database is concerned.
I'm back, yeah.
Long time no see. It's been a while.
Hey, Matthew.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing?
Oh, hey, Matt.
Nice to you.
Fine, thank you. So, what's the matter?
Okay, Matthew, let me introduce you, Richard. He's in charge of your project.
Nice to meet you, Richard.
Nice to meet you, Matt.
Are you the designer of my logo?
Yes, I'm the designer, fresh out of university. I am sure that I graduate top of the class. I'm sure you'll be happy with what I have for you.
I hope so. I hope so.
Great. So I guess from my understanding is that you had some ideas on a sleek and elegant logo, something that was kind of powerful, right?
Yeah, I'm really looking for something clear, precise, and powerful. Like you said, I have really big plans for my company, so I'm counting on you, Richard.
Okay, great. I decided to go with something, a very simple color scheme. I mean, one of them would be like a purple to kind of like, royalty and power. And then, of course, a kind of a lighter gray to kind of not take away from that specific power.
Okay, so purple for color. It's funny. I was thinking of taking this color from a new car,
Oh,
actually.
that sounds like a great
I
color.
like it.
Like
I
a
like it.
like a logo, all purple, or like a gradient.
Nice. I'm quite exciting to see that.
Okay, great. Well, then let me show you what I've put together for you, and then you can provide your feedback.
Let's go for it.
Okay, great. And I think you'll be really happy with it.
Is it a joke? Are you kidding? Did
Is-
your child do that?
No, it wasn't a child. It was.
You're sure you're a designer?
Yeah, I got it. I graduated with honors, and I thought this was a good logo that you might like.
Yeah, I'm not really sure that will work. Honestly, Richard, I was thinking something more along with maybe those lines. Can I share it with you? Oh yes, I can do that. Let's check this.
Okay.
I was more thinking about something like this and not your poop right here.
I mean, to be fair, I wasn't too far off. I mean, there's 3 O's and a D. I mean, it's pretty close, no?
No, I'm not sure. So please, better.
Okay, well, of course, I'm impressed by what you've come up there. It's a good idea of which direction you want to go. I have a clear picture of what you mean by, power and sleek.
Honestly, I hope so. I really need you to come with something great, and it's not the case actually. So
Okay.
counting
Well,
on you.
thank you for giving me another chance here. Looks like Locally had to leave on an emergency or something. I apologize.
And already I see it's going well. Not sure about this, but discover that in your second chance, Richard.
Oh, you're very kind for giving me a second chance. It's my first real job, so I appreciate your feedback.
Okay, don't mess up, please.
I will do my best.
See you. Thank you for your time, Richard.
All right. Thank you so much. Clients can be tough sometimes. Well, what's really nice is that now that I know how he feels, I can actually review the entire history here. In this channel, every message, emoticon, and everything will be saved. So I can quickly save this and see that whenever I need to, come back to the start section as a reminder. Hopefully, she's gone. I guess I won't have to be able to ask her any more questions. Have a great night. Okay. Well, so let's go back into the project to see if they need messages. No. So as we saw, I was able to keep track of everything here very easily. And if I wanted to, I can go back to my project at hand, finish up, and add a new cover image, specifically with the one that he liked the most. So now I have a clear picture of this. So what you were able to see very easily in this phone call with the client who ended up being unhappy with my work was that I was able to reach out to my manager wherever I was, wherever she was. Send a message, send an emoji, like whatever she has, and then just schedule a call and jump right into one if she had the moment, which she did. I was able to share my screen very easily, show her the questions I had, the different topics that I needed clarification on. And then we were even to invite a third party, non-user, to a channel that we set up just for this project. And you can add multiple users, as many as you want, remove them, and then essentially have a phone call with them whenever you need to. And then on top of that, we had a history, a dialogue, a back and forth that I was able to reference whenever I needed to at any point in time. And this will always be there. And then if there are specific important messages that I need to maintain and manage, I can save them as a favorite and always have access to them whenever I need to. So essentially, this shows that Odoo is fully integrated, highly collaborative, and all-inclusive. So hopefully this is good to give you a good idea of how Odoo can fit into your business every single day. And if you have any questions for me, there's a Q&A session right after. You can always reach out to myself, rsh@odoo.com, or any of our representatives if you have other further questions that you need answers for. In the meantime, what can I help you now?
Well done, Richard.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
I was just looking at all the questions that came up.
Oh man, that's a lot.
That was me.
Ah.
Apparently, your presentation was so well that most of the questions were already answered. So
They're
first things
intimidated.
first. Yeah, I guess so. First things first. As long as you have internet and a person available, you can basically chat with anyone, right?
Absolutely. As long as they are a user in the system, and if they are not a user in the system, you need to send them the link first. And the link will be active, and they can access it whenever they need.
All right, great. Well, there was one question about a search option. The question is a bit short, so the person who put that in, if you can maybe clarify a bit more what you mean with the search option, unless it rings a bell to you.
Search option, I mean, we could just take a quick look. There's not really much search capabilities here. I mean, you could do a Control F and do, let's see, looks. So Control
Right.
F will work all the way up.
If there's any addition to that question, please fill it in. Now, I did have a question. You have here quite sensitive data, right? You have the logo, you had a logo, supposedly
great logo.
Yeah. Are there like any maximum sizes in terms of weight or MB, KB that you can use to upload?
It's about 128 megabytes, but you can upload multiple at the same time.
Okay.
So it's no big deal.
Okay, that's great. And what happens to that data if you want to delete it or keep it or make it accessible?
So the history will always be here. It cannot be deleted. Well, that's not true. I can delete it myself right now. So for a fact, she clearly things are not going well, so I'm just going to delete her message as a stark reminder that she's a terrible manager. But you can delete any message you want as you need to. I can edit it if you need to, but it's mostly administrator who can do that.
Okay, great. And the entire chat, that remains forever available?
Yes, the entire chat will be here available until the time I actually delete the whole channel.
Okay. Okay, all right. Now, what about that that link that you shared with the customers? So someone externally from Odoo can actually join a group meeting.
Yeah.
What happens to that link? Will it forever be available or only for the time when you use the chat?
It will be forever available as long as I just go up here. You may not have been paying attention to the last part, but it hasn't changed the entire time. So as long as they bookmark it, they can access it whenever they need.
Okay. Okay, all right. We got a little bit more information about the Control F.
Okay.
So if you have a long discussion, a lot of discussion would be archived in the top, so you need to scroll up before the rest appears. Is there any search option to find data in a discussion that has been very long or very long ongoing?
Not that I can see from here. I don't think it's actually here at the moment, but it's definitely good feedback for the future.
Okay. All right. Great. What's the maximum number of people that you can have a discussion with at the same time?
It's about 40,
Okay.
and that number is just because of technical limitations. That's all.
Okay. All right. Great. I don't think I have any further questions. Do you think the design on the logo got accepted?
No.
No.
I mean, they just can't understand real art.
I guess so. Maybe a last question. How many additional emojis were added?
That's a good question. I thought it was better use of my time not to count them all. But if
Okay.
you want, we can stay here for another 4 minutes and count them.
We could.
We
And
can
those
ask them.
emojis are available anywhere else in Odoo?
That's a good point. So it's not really fully discussed, but essentially features that are developed are actually developed for across the whole app. So it's that's how we grow a lot more faster. So like the chat functionality exists everywhere. So if I were to go to a task in Chatter, I can add the same emojis that you saw earlier.
Okay. All right, great. And the same thing is for front-end users. So if you have a chat, I mean, it's not discussion if you have the live chat, but it's the same principle. They use the same emojis and everything?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, great. Well, I think everything that you have been explaining so far is quite clear. What is the thing that you like the most about the Discuss app?
I think it's kind of cool that you can just click on someone's name, it pops up right away. The emojis are obviously the most important part. But I think the fact that I think the most powerful component is that you can access it from anywhere as long as you're in the system. So I can be on a task, I can be on an invoice, I can ask live questions. And I think it's share your screen is really cool too. So you don't have to like second guess, like, what do you mean here?
Yeah. All right. And the voice over IP is not necessary, you mentioned. So as long as you have internet, you can use it wherever.
Exactly.
And I suppose that in the future we will expand this a bit more, maybe with some backgrounds or sharing heavier documents. Do you know if something else is going to be added to the Discuss app?
Not really. I don't think anything new. I mean, version 17 is the planning is going to happen in a couple weeks or so. So we'll see next year.
I guess so. Now, maybe something else. If there are any partners in the room or maybe end users that are not sure if they should be using the Discuss app, right? With the new structure that we have, a lot of these kind of performance applications will be automatically installed. I think the Discuss app is already installed automatically. If they want to convince a customer to make use of the application, how would you convince them, or how would you help them to make this a daily part of someone's life, on someone's work life?
Well, I mean, you're already in the system every single day, rolling up your sleeves in the platform. So essentially, it's the added value of not having to leave the screen or go to another application, and just it's all right there in-house. It's live. I mean, you're essentially going to be able to know when they're available, and if they want to talk to you at that moment, they can ignore you, of course. But it's just all in one place without having another system, and it's free, by the way.
It's free, yeah, for sure. And any quick ways to get access to the Discuss app? You made a link, you created a channel, but are there any other quick ways that you can chat with someone, or?
I mean, besides the fact that it's up top on the right-hand corner, you can also just do a Control-K and find Discuss with a /. I mean, there's really no...
Click on a name. I understood there as well. The chat comes up. Any other apps where the Discuss app or the features of the Discuss app are used? The meeting link, I guess?
I mean, meeting link, I mean, the chatter, it uses similar functionality. I mean, it's the same kind of information is there, like the features of the emoji and the preview and everything. So it's more or less the same.
All right, great. Well, let me give one last check if someone else added any questions. No, I don't see any. No. So Richard, thank you very much. I don't think there are any questions from your colleagues either. So thank you everyone for your attention, and thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.